Hey everybody, JB back with you once again for more JoshL6. I'm going to make sure that the sound is properly tuned there, which it looks like it is. Today we are going to be going through the 70s, starting with Pyramid Scheme, which is a level based on the walls of Key Pyramid, if I remember correctly. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh wow, that is really loud. Let me turn that down. I think I was listening to something. There we go. Alright. Wait. Oh wait, that doesn't actually free me. I thought that was for that. Whoa, okay, that is not what you're supposed to do. Okay, I'm hoping that doing that was not the... Okay, well that was the incorrect decision, but... The question is, am I supposed to direct that glider in there? Okay, maybe so, but not like that. Okay, let's do this. I'm hoping that I don't have to actually destroy a specific one. So, fingers crossed on that front. Okay, where do we go here? Do I push this up over this way? I have to assume so, because that didn't open this trap at the top. So now I have to get rid of the red key somewhere. So let's go over this way. I'm a little nervous about this. Like, I need to get this wall used when I put this into that bomb there, so... If I had to make a guess, let's try this. Let's do that, yeah. Of course, now... Oh, wait a minute, no, I could do this. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that what I was supposed to do here was not get all the keys. A little mean, but that's fine. Alright, so we'll return for that one later on. So now we'll go over here. Let's do this. I really like this area. This is a cool puzzle idea. And we'll go up this way. Okay. So now I can get this. I'm assuming this is the correct way to do this. See, I made my own level for Walls of CCLP1 called Images of Giza for this, and it was meant to be kind of like an Egyptian pyramid-looking thing with a more brown color palette. I don't know what to think of it. I think it's a fun like monster manipulation level in a tight space. I really personally like it. I think I more mean like I don't know what to think of it in terms of how others would receive it, I guess. But this is a nice variety level kind of take on this concept, so, or this layout. Alright, Flummox Zone. That is a really cool name. I'm almost kind of tempted to watch my optimized solution for this one after we're done going through it casually. Just for funsies. Does anyone ever say that anymore, just for funsies? Like, I remember back in the day, everyone used to say that a bunch. Okay, how do I get over there? This way? This way. And then I need one over there. Okay, so now I just have one left. Oh, it's in the corner, okay. Okay, that one's a really interesting one to navigate to. Okay, so I got a whole bunch of blue keys. I'm gonna assume, yeah, I need to open up all these. I like so I have this thing lately where I like going through a maze, and then at the end you get to like kind of go through an open version of it. Like, I don't know, I really like that idea. Alright, let's look at the solution that I came up with here. No idea if this is like optimal or not, but wow, that is really fast. I don't know what kind of time I had back in the day to optimize custom levels like this, but I sure don't have it now. Alright. that's Flummox Zone. Moving on to Silence of the Teeth. Is that like a reference to Silence of the Lambs or something? There are extra keys and chips. You will need at least 5 keys to exit. Okay, there's nothing under that. So this is kind of open-ended-ish. I like how there's these different stations where you can get keys and stuff. I'm going to assume, maybe incorrectly, that everything is out in the open. Like, there's nothing hidden under blocks or anything like that. I do like, in a level like this, the idea of having extra keys and chips. That's one thing. So this is another, I guess we haven't had a little level design discussion type thing in a while. This is one area that I feel like I'm not very good at when it comes to level design, that being how much leniency to give the player. And because I feel like whenever I start designing levels, I start off with a simple idea, and then eventually, eventually it turns into a much more complicated idea, because I'm like, ooh, I see this potential to make this really interesting, and usually interesting is a euphemism for complicated. And then it becomes this really difficult level, at least from a casual standpoint, maybe from a veteran standpoint, not so much. But a good example of this is a level, that was an okay level. Ooh, this is Nectar Meadow from CCLP4. So yeah, it's like, a good example of this is a level I made recently called, what was the name of it? Makes No Mistake was the name. And I'm assuming, yeah, I have to go over there. And this level was this idea that I came up with when I was in the shower one day, no joke, where I was like, ooh, what if we had like a keyboard malfunction thing where you had a bunch of doors and you had to open them up, but instead of like the really open-ended nature of keyboard malfunction, you had this really tight sort of grid that you had to basically figure everything out in and get all these things to where they needed to go. And, it's just this very specific puzzle. And at first when I built it, I just kind of put all these chips everywhere, and then you just had to find the right doors to open up. But then I had this idea about how I could make the level even more interesting, aka complicated, and then I ended up making a very specific sequence that you had to go through as far as opening the doors and which ones you had to open to get all the chips and stuff. So I don't think there was anything particularly wrong with doing that. It's just, I was kind of starting to wonder to myself, hey, maybe this wasn't necessarily the right approach all the time. Maybe for some levels I could be a little bit more lenient, but which levels should those be, right? And of course CC2 makes this more interesting because you have bonuses, right? You have the idea of leniency allowing you to solve the level, but then whenever you actually replay the level, you can go back and do something maybe a little bit more complicated. And wait, is this for, okay, this must be for moving forward. So yeah, it's like, where do you draw the line? And I feel like I'm not very good at drawing that line yet. I'm still figuring that out. And especially as I further develop JBLP2 and I have more, of a difficulty curve, because right now the levels are mostly medium to hard if I had to rate where they stood on a difficulty curve. I don't know how you could stand on a curve, but you know what I mean. I would say that most of them are medium to hard. So I kind of want to put some easy ones, but we get back to that whole dilemma that I talked about before, where it's like, I don't really want to make easy levels unless I'm proud of them and unless they stand out. And I feel like it's harder for an easy level to stand out today because we're not really in CCLP1, mode anymore, where we're intentionally creating a community set specifically for easy stuff, right? And that kind of makes it a little more... Why did I do that? That was really weird. For some reason, I didn't realize it was immediately to my right. I think I thought in my head that it was down a space. That is really strange. But yeah, it's just that dilemma right now that I'm just trying to struggle through when it comes to designing stuff. I really want, if I make something more lenient, and that was a risky move and I shouldn't have done that. if I make something more lenient, I want it to make it lenient in a way that makes solving the level fun and not like it's undercutting itself. If that makes sense. Like, I don't want someone to come into the level and feel like they were robbed of something potentially more interesting just because I decided to make it easy. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's kind of where I am with that. Anyway, this level is a lot of fun. This was one of the levels I was really excited to see in CCLP4, and thankfully it got in. I think it was among some of the highest rated levels, if I remember correctly. It's just really fun. I love the feel of it. I know Jeffrey also made a level based on the walls of it, which were the sockets and green doors. And, oh yeah, this was also a part of that palette competition, the tile palette competition we talked about earlier, alongside Western Standards of Living and Serene Village. But this one had a really interesting condition, much like Western Standards of Living's palette. You couldn't use walls. Instead, you had green doors and sockets, and then you had thieves and bombs and hints and, you know, green keys and chips, of course, and suction boots and ice skates. So a lot of really interesting things here. And blocks, dirt, teeth, I guess, blobs. I really wish we would do another one of these palette things again. Like, there was one recently, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, there was a competition recently, and I don't know if it's been judged at the time of this recording yet, but the idea for it came from, like, what if we just used all of the emote tiles from the CC Discord? And I like this idea in terms of just, hey, why don't you construct your level using emotes? You know, you have to use those specific tiles that we on the server have converted into emotes, and, you know, work from there, right? Okay, wait, there we go. So, it's a cool concept, but my main issue with it was that, I don't know, it felt awfully specific in a lot of ways, and the combination of tiles was a little weird. Like, it was like ice and yellow keys and hints and stuff, and I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of the tiles that were a part of that palettes. Like, these tiles I think are a lot more interesting. So that's Nectar Meadow, and somehow we were only 18 seconds behind the bold time, which is pretty remarkable. I felt like I wasn't really going very quickly there. Okay, Frostfire Arena. I remember this one. This one was kind of like a maze, but also sort of a block pushing deal where you had to... I remember you had to get all these green doors open, and then I think you had to get like a block through this, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I see a block down there. This kind of reminds me... Oh, I did not realize that there was a fireball that wasn't on the ice. Okay, there's this fireball that's just going around in the middle there, which is kind of funny. Okay, this guy I am not a fan of. Like, really? Okay, I'm just gonna go out here. I feel like going out here is probably for the best. Maybe. Okay, I need to go back to this to go over here. Because I need, like, fire boots and stuff, don't I? At least I would assume so. Oh, or the green key. But, I can't exactly get the green key going through that. So that's not feasible. Oh, wait! I'm supposed to wait for that to explode. Oh, okay. I see now. So I get the block right away. That's a little... See, I would consider that a little unnecessarily mean in terms of just a trick in a level. Like, why wouldn't that just be a normal floor tile and you didn't have to wait for the fireball? Like, there's no reason for that to even be there. That's one thing that another thing I'm trying to figure out as far as what exactly is reasonable in levels is where exactly do you draw the line in terms of tricks like that, you know? Because I feel like that's always a tricky thing. See what I did there? Okay, that's a terrible joke. But you see what I mean. It's just I feel like CCLP3 especially grew this reputation for here's a what I call a gotcha moment in a level where you're being tricked and then all of a sudden it's like the designer's going, haha, I got you and stuff. And it can be really clever when done well. Like, I would argue, and maybe I would look upon this with different eyes now that it's been several years, but the one level I designed that I'm kind of proud of in this respect, and I think it did this decently. I wouldn't say very well, but I think it did it decently, was Mud Pie. I liked Mud Pie. I think it was a really interesting take on that whole concept. Um, some of my other levels I wasn't really very fond of, but Mud Pie I really did enjoy. Okay, so I just had it backwards. I just have to do that first and then come back, I'm assuming. So I do this, and I guess I get all the other things from around the ring. Okay, so we do that first, go through here, do that. I don't know what we're pushing this toward, though. Let me look around now that we have more access now. I feel like it's up here. Yeah, there's stuff up here. And I kind of want to... Wait, here we go. Okay, so only one left. There it is. Okay. Oh, there's something over there. I'm going to assume that we need to do this one first, because I don't think there's any way we can actually get to that one over there. Well, the good news is we now have more space with which to work, which is exciting, so let's give this a shot. I like the idea of this level, but I have to confess, I'm not really a fan of this fireball ice thing going on. Like, I think that's my one gripe with this, is that it feels like you could mess up any minute, especially with these longer block pushing segments involved. Okay, here. So now I can go through here, which is exciting. Wait, I mean, I know you can just always wait, but I feel like there's just this, and I know that this is all on the player, but I feel like there's just this urge to try to beat a level quickly when it involves something tedious. And believe me, this is not even close to the worst example of tedium in a level. I mean, CC1 kind of has that covered, but... Okay, I'm really hoping that there's fire boots under this. Yes! Okay, perfect. I think the one thing I will say that I really like, that would not be possible in CC2, by the way. Pushing a block like that and having it slide. The one thing I will say I did like about this was I love the whole, like, the maze gradually opening up thing, like we were talking about before. I think that's pretty neat. So I wish it happened a little sooner, maybe, in this level, but I think it's fine. Maybe just have the opening block part of the level not be as long, and I think this would be better. Okay, achievement unlocked. I remember this one. This was a fun one. You can enter the rooms in any order you choose. 15 ships are in each room. Alright. Let's give this a shot. So this one looks like a block pushing kind of thing. Oh, it's a waste of space puzzle. Oh, okay. So I need to also create a path for myself back there. So it looks like I need to kind of do this in an order here. And I cannot really get anything down this way, so why don't we work on getting stuff over here first? I think that's going to be for the best. Yeah, waste of space. That is a concept that I have not seen a lot of puzzles made out of. I made one level that was rather, well, actually two, but I don't think the second one ever got released. Um, it was called Tedium, which is not really a name you want for your level. But yeah, I remember making a level called Unstoppable, where you had to like take all these blocks out of a thing and then put them into a room. It was an okay level. I mean, there's seems to be a fan base for it based on what I'm seeing in the CC community these days, um, but yeah, it's an okay one. I wouldn't say it's like one of the best examples of that idea, but I do like it. It's one that I'm kind of proud of, and I do appreciate what it tried to do. Also, I think we might have more room here than the number of blocks would suggest. Because all I need to really do is just push this one right there. So we could have had like one, maybe more than one more. No, I think just one more. Okay, so I need to open all this before moving on, right? I like how there's chips here. Like that's one of those things that I feel like I could use more in my own level design, is having the concept of like chip vaults in levels where you feel like you accomplished something, and so it's a lot more fulfilling as a result. Okay, I'm gonna assume that we don't want to get these red keys. Like, that seems like a bad idea at this point. So I'm gonna push this down because I think that's a wise idea. So it looks like we just need to get all these teeth into the bombs. Should be pretty simple. That's one concept I feel like I could play with a little bit, is what to do about levels where you can't touch red keys. I know Jeffrey made a similar level in Walls of CCLP4 where I think it was called The Price of Freedom, and it was basically this level where there were a bunch of red keys and you couldn't really get any. And I like that concept. I think that's really neat. Okay, so is the idea that I'm supposed to cross back into there? Oh, wait a minute. I see. I'm supposed to use those. Okay. That's really clever. Okay, I see the key here. So I'm supposed to go back into the first area and open the doors there and then come back here. That is really cool. I love the way that the door nails get used here. I kind of used this idea sort of in a level I made called, well, it was called When One Door Closes, but I'm starting to think that I need to rename that in light of CC2LP1 having a level by that name. So I actually spoke recently to Rock Generu about CC stuff, and he suggested the name Color Disaster Inertia, among others, which I really like. I think it's a kind of a fun name. Okay, so this kind of reminds me a little bit of Corridor, slightly. Okay, let's get all those first. Let's deal with everything. Wait a minute. How am I supposed to get... Oh, I see. Okay. So I'm supposed to put the block in there first, steal the blue key, then I can come back. Okay, let's try that. Because it's possible to do this. Oh, there's two! What? Wait a minute. Is this actually being controlled by these buttons, and this clone machine is being controlled by... What? Okay. I'll do this in this order again. And I just messed that up, so... You know what? Let's actually start with this first, because I think this is probably going to be for the best. Yeah, I should take a cue from my own advice book here, and that is to do the stuff that you're unfamiliar with first before doing the familiar stuff. I just don't want to forget the familiar stuff. Okay, I'm hoping that's enough. Okay, yeah, it seems to be controlled by that. That's a little tricky, but that's fine. Okay, so before I do anything there, let's actually finish this up. Okay, that's a really clever puzzle. I like it a lot. This area seems rather self-explanatory, and that now releases that from there. Okay. So now all I need to do is just use this red key right here. Okay, so... Ooh, okay, what do I do with this? So, I have 4 red keys. Let's try this. I feel like this is the... Oh no, I was supposed to wait on that, wasn't I? I was supposed to wait on that, wasn't I? Okay, let's do this first. This part reminds me a little bit of Utter Clutter. Slightly. Alright, I'm hoping that that is correct. Let's really hope. Okay, I'm really hoping I didn't have to... Okay, hang on a sec, I can do this. I like this area, this is neat. Oh, I can control it from out here, I forgot. Okay, so why don't we do this, get these. I like this room, this is very interesting. Okay, I'm hoping going through here is correct, but I don't see any other way, so... And then this will allow that to get blown. Oh, I love that. That is cool. I love the way that that tank thing works. Okay, so I got my 15 ships. Okay, so let's go back here and do... we'll go ahead and do this section. Why not? Yeah, I like this level. This is a pretty fun, full concept level. And I think it explores the key ideas that it has really nicely, which I appreciate. I think it works really well in that regard. I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. I'm not going to try to save a block. Or save a space, I should say. You've got to be kidding. Why did I just do that? That is beyond dumb. Why did I do that? Oh, I was hoping today we wouldn't have so many bumps in the road like last time. But we are. Alright, no need to sweat it. Let's just keep going. I'm trying not to get all frazzled. I feel like I've struggled with that a lot when it comes to playing games and stuff. Okay. Yeah, that room in the lower left is probably my favorite room in the level. Like, honestly, I really like that room. I think my least favorite room is, weirdly enough, the waste of space room. Like, I love that concept, but I feel like it could have been done a little better there. But everything else in the level is pretty solid. Like, I might give this like a 4 for CCLP 5 voting. Okay, so we'll do this, go back. Yeah, I totally forgot until I went back here that there's actually a button there, which is pretty nice. this little item swapping bit here. Get inside this. Oops. Not that I really need to do that in MS, but wait for it. I love this little puzzle. I need to work on making more little things like this that are just really satisfying to beat. Like, I really like it when levels do that. Like I said in a previous video, I think some of my favorite kinds of levels are the ones that make you feel like you're accomplishing stuff, even if the stuff is really simple. You know, there's that just that endorphin rush that you get when you're solving it, and that's just such a satisfying thing when done well. And I'm still trying to figure out how to do it well, you know? Alright, we're getting there, we're getting there. By the way, for anyone who's wondering, it is now the day after I recorded yesterday, so I'm a little more awake and feeling fine. My arm's a little bit sore still, but taking a shower actually kind of helped it a little bit. And I'm feeling pretty good overall, so figured I'd get a few more episodes of recording in before... Oh, that's right, I need to get the red key. Before I take the microphone back to work on Monday, and hopefully we can make some good progress here. It's my goal for the day. Alright, so now we're down to the upper left room. So let's go up here. I think overall this might be my favorite room, because I really like the concept of this one. Okay, then we get this. And then we get this guy. Get some optimizing strats in here while we're at it. Alright, 2 to go, and we are good to get these keys off of our person. Okay, back to the starting room. We have one final swap to make here. I like how this exists at the end. Like, that is really fun. Achievement unlocked is done. That is probably my favorite level of this decade so far, other than Nectar Meadow. Really cool level. I really enjoyed it. Okay, 7th generation. Is this a Pokemon reference? Because, oh, I forgot to read the designer comments for this decade before recording. Ooh, I bet there would have been something about that in the comments. I bet it is. I bet it is. Maybe this is meant to be modeled after the location in 7th generation Pokemon. I'm not really like a Pokemon aficionado, so I feel like I'm not very good at spotting those kinds of references. Do I go over there or do I go over here? I guess over there, because A, it uses my yellow key, and B, it's actually accessible. So I believe that these are the walls of one who raids tombs, because I recognize this area as the exit area. Okay, do I need to, like, get that block out? Okay, I'm not sure what we just accomplished there, but hopefully it was something down here. Or up there, maybe? I guess it was up there. Okay, so I need to get this block back into the room. I like this opening area. This is actually kind of interesting. Where you kind of have to do this back and forth, but it's a back and forth that requires some rather interesting things of you. Okay, so that takes care of the blob bomb thing. Okay, that is really neat. I do like that a lot. Or I guess not a bomb, but like a toggle thing. Okay, so now we have this section. I don't know, do I need to just take the block down there? What are we doing exactly? I'm going to assume yes, based on what I'm seeing. Except now I don't really have a key, so let's see if we can find a key. What are we doing here? This room kind of reminds me a little bit of Flippant from CCLP4. So I see a couple things we can do. We can kind of clear a path over here. Oh, there's chips under these. Okay. So I'm going to assume that we need to bridge out this way. This is a fun level. Oh, apparently I need to put this over there. Okay. Let me just be very patient here while we do this. Okay, that's only 2 keys though, right? I mean, I need the third one from there. So wait, was I not supposed to open that blue door up? Because if that's the case, where do I get another blue key from? Because I need to use the block to even bridge there to begin with, right? I feel like I'm missing something here. Alright, let's start over again. This seems to be a pretty long level, too. The bold time is... I think I optimized this because there's a natural time on it. The bold time's nearly... It's about 3 minutes, which is pretty lengthy. Okay, so that's the tank that guards the block. Okay. I kind of just overlooked that the first time around because it was like, okay, you know, I'm not concerned with that tank yet, so why should I pay attention to it, right? Okay, so we'll do this next. I really want to get to that clone machine section. That looks like fun. Okay, I kind of wish you could see the tank drowning there, but that's very nitpicky. Okay, here we go. This section, I really love the way this is built into an island, especially. It kind of... Didn't Jeffrey's level also get built into an island for his Walls of CCLP4 set? I want to say it kind of did. Okay, so here is where this exists. So my issue with this, at the moment... Oh wait, I can get this out without opening the door. Oh man, I'm dumb. I fell for the trap. Dude, that is... Wow, I wouldn't say nasty. I mean, that's a little heavy of a term, but man, that is a tricky one. Okay, so now we just get all these keys. Now that dies there. I kind of forgot about that part, actually. Let's wait. Okay, we finally made it to the next section. Thank goodness. And we have a blue thing here. I'm hoping that was actually correct. I think it is, because I think I see what we need to do here. We just need to... I don't know if that wall is there just to be a convenience for one use, or what. Maybe the intended route involved using it. Okay, so here we have... Okay, I was a little worried about that invisible wall there. Okay, nothing there. Alright, so let's just go through here. Alright, so the great question here is... Okay, we just do this. Easy enough. Oh, this is where all the blobs were in the original level, wasn't it? Okay, that felt really risky, but I'm glad we survived. Okay, I'm not sure you can actually kill this teeth. There probably is a way, but... Oh, this is invisible. I'm not sure I like invisible walls in this context. This feels a little iffy. But it's alright. Thankfully, it's not like a blue forest fire situation totally, so I'm not terribly worried about it. Okay, so here's this section. Okay, so this is just a block pushing puzzle. Pretty simple. We just need to get this one there. And then we get the other one over here. That's really neat. I like this section. This is cool. And then we get to swim to the outside. Yay! And touch the border all we want. Yeah. Okay, where's the exit? I'm gonna guess it's down in the lower right. Here's a hint that you came to because you have flippers and wanted to explore. Yep, that is very true. I do want to explore, and I like, again, I love the open-ended nature of the end of the level. I think it's really neat. Is it under here? Nope. Okay, here's how we kill the teeth. We just do that. Maybe it's actually inside. Maybe is it in here? It is in here. Okay, it's actually in, not in the same place it was in One Who Raids Tombs, but I want to say that the fire boots were in there. There was a socket there, I thought, and then something behind them. Okay, dancing in the lightning. Alright, so I see here that I don't want to hit any green or blue buttons. Apparently I haven't solved / optimized this yet, so this ought to be really interesting. I bet I could make a suck level, super CC level, and do a TSP solve on this. It's funny though, because I've actually been wanting to make a level with this idea. Not quite this idea, but sort of like a double maze, triple maze thing. But mechanically, I'm not sure how this would work. So the idea is, let me try to lay it out. The idea is basically that you have all 4 buttons, but you can only hit like 2 of them at a time on each pass through the maze, if that makes sense. So like maybe on one pass you can hit blue and green, but then the next pass you can only hit blue and red, and you know, on the next pass you can only hit, I don't know, brown and red or something. It just mix it up every single time, and there's chips that you have to get through in certain areas only. So that's kind of where it stands, but I don't know how mechanically to make that work. That is my main dilemma right now, is I have no idea how you would make that function in CC1 at least. I'm sure there is some really cool way to make it work in CC2, and even then I don't even have any idea of how that would work. So I'm not very good at building like very mechanical things, which I think is one reason why I struggle with things like logic gates and whatnot. I'm sure if I actually used them regularly, it wouldn't be nearly as daunting, but that's kind of where I am on that right now. Okay, so I can't really break through that, so go over here. And then this is the way to get to that one. Okay, I'm wondering how to get to that corner. Like, there was this one area here in the lower left. There's also that. Oh, wait, I see how to do that. just have to go up this way. Okay, let me just do a check to make sure we haven't completely ruined it yet. Except now I can't get back there. You know what, let's just keep going. We're almost done anyway. Oh, here we go. You just go through there. Yeah, I made a level with like a fixed set of conditions like this called Maze of One Parity in Walls of CCLP1, which is a reference to Maze of One Way in CCLP2. And it was alright. It used the layout of the shifting maze from CCLP1 because honestly that's a really tough layout to figure out how to use otherwise and still retain the elements of the original in some way. So that's what I ended up doing with it. Okay, what are we doing here? Where's this last chip? Something tells me it's like toward the left from here. Because I don't think we actually explored this area very much, did we? So that's where we need to come back. Where are you? Where are you, Chip? Yeah, I have no idea what we're missing here. Oh, here, right here. Wow. I don't know why I couldn't see that. That was very well concealed. Alright, Dancing in the Lightning complete. I may have to go back and optimize that one at some point. That's pretty fun. Very Sokoban, unoriginal pulls lel. So I want to say that this is a part of a series that Josh did in JoshL6. I'm having to go back and remember this now. Where he had these Sokoban levels that kind of had Doge titles. Remember back when Doge was a meme? Well, who am I kidding? Doge is still a meme. That's not something to even debate at this point. I just need to figure out how to solve this. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where exactly the choke point is for this one. Like, where do I stack the blocks, etc. And I think it's down here. Like, I need to do something down in this area, generally. It's just a matter of how. Yeah, this is a little troubling. Let's do that first. And then let's do... Let's do this. I feel like this is kind of what we started with, but hopefully maybe better. Okay, let's... I feel like getting all the blocks on the left side is probably what we want to a certain degree. How do we do this? How do we do this? This should not be this hard. Come on. I feel like there's like one loop that you have to make, and I'm not really like calculating what the loop is properly. I don't think putting that up there does anything effectively, but I don't know. This is really kind of a tangle, isn't it? I really just want to get the blocks down over here somewhere, but that's not really all that likely at this point, is it? So if I do this, I can then do Well, no, actually I can't. I would have to go over here first. But even that's questionable, right? Even if I push this over, that's not really going to accomplish much. Yeah, this is really weird. I just want to get this untangled. What am I missing? Okay, let's go ahead and go back to this. I feel like this is like the key, doing that. But now I have to figure out how to get this middle one out. See, that's the problem here. Wait. I need to actually do that. I don't know if I'm even have enough time for this solution. Okay, so if I do this, wait a minute, I might have it. Or I might have something. I don't know if I have it, but... Okay, so I do that. Oh man, do we actually have this? We do. Okay. I'm gonna have to race to get this done. Oh my gosh, can we actually do this? It might be possible. I'm just gonna have to give this all I have. Oh boy. I cannot believe this gave us so much trouble. This is a really well-designed level, though. Like, I mean, yes, it's a Sokoban that's probably been adapted from somewhere, but it's a very well-designed Sokoban to whoever made it. Alright. That was really cool. I mean, yes, it's not a level I would vote for in an official set or anything, but it was a fun puzzle, and I enjoyed solving it. Alright, one last level for today. Green of Tourmaline. Okay, so this has invisible walls, which kind of remind me of that. What was that level? There was this one level that Josh made back in like the old days that had that idea in it, I think. That kind of reminds me of Lock Block, and I'm assuming that that's an intentional reference. Okay. Done with that. So where do we go now? Down here? I think I see what we ultimately need to do. I'm hoping getting that early was not a mistake, but we'll see. Okay, so now I just need to do something like this, right? Okay. So now we go over here? Yes, over here. Get these. Go this way. So don't get the key until we get suction boots or something. So I'm about to lose these. Okay, so what do we do here? A little nervous. I am gonna have to assume that we have to put that block into the water, and then, okay, yeah, it would follow the left wall, so that should be fine. So I'm gonna put this, I'm hoping I'm not making a mistake by doing this, by the way. But I think I'm fine. Let's do that. That is a cool puzzle. I like puzzles like that are really neat order of operations things. That was nasty. That is a little nasty. I am not a fan of that. I see what was happening there now that I looked at the death screen, and yeah, not a fan of that. Okay, let's try it again. I like how much there's variety in this level, despite the name green kind of being supposedly a highlight, but there's like more than green here, which is neat. So I guess the top part is the tank, and then the bottom part is not the tank, the block cloner. Did I get that? I'm going to assume yes. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay, go here. Cool, alright. See, I just thought that was a normal block, and I was really confused for a minute. Like, how in the world am I supposed to use only one block to accomplish all that? But now it makes more sense. And I like the fact that the toggle wall there is open, because it basically enforces that you have to... you basically have to keep that closed. Oh wow, that was close. Oh boy, I'm nervous about this. Woo! All right, we survived. that was a joyride right at the end, wasn't it? Okay, Josh, I'm just gonna say right now, this section right here, that is a little hairy. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Of course, wait a minute. In Lynx, you would probably not even have to worry about this, right? Because the blob would be stuck in that room with all the green keys. So, I'm assuming if you submit this to CCLP5, you're going to take that blob out. Alright, next time we're going to start off with Indiscretion, which looks like a kind of navigation puzzle. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves today, and I will see you next time. So take care and catch you then.